Um, Hello and welcome once again to another episode of the Father Support Network. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Wangwa. Today I'm going to react to the tragic death of a young teenager, Kelyan Bokassa, who was unfortunately stabbed on the bus, on a public transport bus in London, bus 472 in Woolwich. And I'm going to tie that into a piece written by the Standard, the newspaper, where they've I highlight 2 points they've made about the care system and then our fatherless home, how that have played, how those 2 points have played a role in the tragic demise of this young boy. But before we get into it, I like to encourage you to, as usual, subscribe if you haven't, like and share this video so as many people that will benefit from it can have access to it. Um, so I just want to talk about two key things: a fatherless home. We've had so many cases of young boys, especially young boys, losing their lives um, in London, across the United Kingdom, to knife crimes. And each time you see these cases, there are other ethnicities, but in London particularly, uh, it seems like the black young kids, teenagers, in this case 14-year-old, are losing their lives to knife crimes. And then this is linked to gang activities. And then when you see these cases, what usually you see is criticism of either the mayor, or you see, some kind of a racist or racial kind of like narrative when it comes to how people describe this. Oh, this, you know, usually among this demographic, and people usually have to either say, it's the mayor's uh, doing, not being able to tackle this crime, or people talk about other, racially charged uh, approaches, police approaches. Maybe people say, oh, need to do more stop and search. We just talk these things, and then the next day we see another case in the news. So it's becoming a daily occurrence. But I'm happy when I was reading the Standard newspaper, and when they mentioned those 2 facts. So let's dive into it. I think we need to talk, because when I saw the story at first, and when I had read where the mom, I said this 14-year-old had been groomed from 6 years old, I was taken aback. I was, how, where? I've got a son that is a few years younger than 14, and I can't imagine where on the streets, how. I can't imagine him being alone by himself to for the gangs to have access to him. So I couldn't wrap that up in my head until reading this, and now I understand that at one point the child was and the other sibling were taken into the care home. Now let's focus on those two things. I don't know the situations why they would have been taken to the care home. Maybe uh, the parents, could have been um, of danger to them. I don't know what it may be neglect. I don't know that situation, so I wouldn't speak on that. But I will speak on what so often happens, and my own experience. So let's start from the fatherless, because my first question was, where is this young boy's father? Too often we see these young kids lose their life or become join gangs, and you ask, where is the father? And I've done an episode before where I say the street becomes the father when there's no father in the house. And it is clear, from some people, that there was no father in there. And we can't stress enough the importance of the father, or the role of the father in the house. The father is very critical. He's not just a sperm donor, because I think we live in a society where a man has been reduced, a father has been reduced to just a sperm donor. And if once that is done, you say my body, my choice, whatever. The care is just to the mom. The mom, bears that burden or of caring for the child, and the father is just sometimes just you know just restricted or just reduced to just paying some kind of child maintenance or paying some kind of money. But now, a father needs to be there to provide structure, to provide guidance, to provide a shield. And I've said it in many other episodes that we've done. So when the father is not there, so among this demographic, among you will see a common thread that in these incidents, some of these kids don't have the father in the house. And we need to tackle it. We need to talk about, specifically talk about black young boys and the absence of the father. This is a systemic issue. This is not just even a case of irresponsible fathers or irresponsible men. I think there are good black fathers, and I'm one of them. If I look at my experience and look at, if not for sheer determination and just fighting the system, I could have easily just given up. And God forbid, that could have been my son. If I had allowed the way the system was running, if I had not just fought for the kids, if I hadn't gone to court, I promise, I don't know, I'm not God, but I could literally say to you, that could have been my son. That could have been my daughter. And this keys and that ties into the care system, because the care system, like many other things in our society, in our WAP society, has become commercialized. It's about profit. It's just how we have some big charities, and they're not just charities, it's about profit making. It's about giving themselves fat salaries rather than imparting into the community. It's about fostering. It's about, why do people go into foster home? Why, it's about private. It's about capitalism. People just want to have these kids and just not care about those kids. I think we need to heal the family. We cannot tackle this, because a lot of time you go on the social media, you see people talking about blaming the mayor, blaming, people say, it's because of his ethnicities. Because no, we should just no, we should leave this polarization. Our society is just too polarized. If it's not polarized against white and black, it's polarized against rich and poor, is polarized against. It's no. We need to address the main issue, which is the foundation of the society, which is the family, is broken, is sick. We need to fix it. And to fix it, we need to encourage fathers to be in the life of the children. We need to remove those incentives. We need to disincentivize the system that incentivizes women to deny fathers access to the child. The system that incentivizes the women to feel that we can make a gain out of having a child with a man, and I know intentions of having a relationship. We should disincentivize the society, the care system that wants to gain from that, because there's a lot of money in there. People are not looking to adopt a child. People are not looking to provide fostering because they really care, or they have a heart, or they want to really foster and raise these children with the right manners, with the right values. But it's just the money. So until we deal with this, I do not think I don't think a stranger, I don't think the society can love a child more than the parents, than the father, than the mom. I understand there are some evil fathers, evil, because he has so many things. There are no doubt, and in those situations, the children needs to be protected. They need to be taken away. They need to be given a place where they can be loved. But the majority of times, talking from experience, the majority of times you see where, even as a good father, you're taking through a lot to just be in your child's life. I've said it many times in the previous episode, where the social workers have to ask you, they see a good father in the volunteer life, and it's surprising to them, it's shocking to them. They're asking you a question: why do you have the children? Where is the mom? It's surprising to them that you're in a child's life. It's surprising to them that as a father, you involved in the day-to-day living You're involved in a child's education. You're involved in a child's social life. Why should that be shocking? And then when a child at 12, 14, 15, when after them we cry, we cry where we cry wolf. We need to deal with the situation in the society. We live, it's sad we can't keep losing our young boys, our young children that are misguided. Because when you do that, the street take over. The prison there is just one way, is one way ticket. When a father is not in a child's life, is most likely that you can predict that child's ending, especially in this society. When we remove discipline, when we remove the father in the house, we've removed discipline, we remove guidance, we remove all of that. It won't be surprising what we're coming to. So we need, number one, to encourage fathers to be in the house. We need to change the system. There's a system. We know there's the system that discourages good fathers from being there. There's this system that frustrates good fathers, whether at the economic level, whether at sociological, whether psychological level. We need to reform the family court system. We need to do it in a way that women will know, mothers won't believe that this is my child. No, it takes two to make the child. It takes two to raise the child. So as a society, we need to really sit down and talk about this issue. We need to address this issue at the root, and the root cause of the family. The family needs to heal. So until then, we'll keep having these issues. No amount of stop and search is going to save this. So one, we need to make sure fathers are in the house. We need to encourage fathers. We need to create these incentives for fathers to be in the house. It's really sad, and I pray for the family of Kelyan Bokassa, and for many other families of young boys that are lost to the street, lost to gang, lost to the knife crime. And I pray to the authorities, and say, let us do this. It is easy. Let us heal the society. And once heal the family, and once the family is healed, once the father is in the family, and once we remove that material profit making and sense from the care system, I'm sure we're gonna see some news to change. For now, stay blessed, and I'll see you again.